The Balding is a one-man comedic storytelling show about a young man named Jeff in his early 20s who's going bald, and he's a virgin, and he's convinced he's going bald because he's a virgin, so he goes on a desperate quest to get laid so he could arrest the terrifying process. That's at Venue 3. I'm Jeff Gandell. I'm a Montreal storyteller, improviser, and teacher. I perform at storytelling events all over town, and I run my own storytelling event called Yarn, which is a monthly comedic storytelling event. It covers 4 years of the main character's life, so from 19 until 23. Starts off in Europe. He's traveling Europe for the summer and then comes home and does a bachelor's degree in English literature, and then it ends with him in India. So during the process of he discovers he's losing his hair, and then he's got these two things weighing on him, his virginity and his hair loss. And during that time, his distraction over these two things causes him to destroy a lot of his parents' possessions. So he floods their house, he gets into a couple of car accidents. There's a few ways in which he ruins their things. So a lot of this play takes place within the main character's head, but then there are very real world, increasingly dangerous consequences for this distraction that the character is suffering from. Well, it's something I've been doing for a while. So as I said, I do storytelling performances around town, and they're all autobiographical, so I'm quite comfortable writing about myself and about my life. And I was basically writing about this time in my life. I was writing a lot of different shorter pieces, and they happened to all be about this time. And then the idea of baldness was coming up again and again, and I figured it was such a horrible thing to go through, might as well milk it for some comedy. So it kind of organically came together that I was writing about this time in my life. You know, the early 20s is a very interesting time. I'm not sure how old you are, but
22. So.
There you go. Yeah, so it's a fascinating time to live in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I learned that I can write an hour-long show. I learned a lot. It's interesting. The process of writing it and going through it with the director as well, and kind of looking at the emotions that were underneath a lot of it. I guess I learned that there was a lot more going on during this period of time, perhaps, than I had given myself credit for. I don't think it's kind of a way of kind of almost therapy or working through these issues, because I think I worked through these issues a long time ago, and I'm a very different person now. But I think I can look at my younger self with perhaps more generosity, I suppose, and care than I used to. Maybe.
Cool.
You know, as I said, I've been doing storytelling performances for a long time, so I think I've kind of developed my own unique style of telling stories, and I incorporate humor, but there's a lot of depths of emotion. I think in any kind of good humor, there has to be real emotions there. So I'm not sure what's different about the other shows, because I haven't seen the other shows, but I think just my style of telling stories and my sense of humor is probably what's unique about the way I do things. And there's a couple of songs. That's pretty cool too. There are 2 songs,
Cool.
pre-recorded backing vocals that I'll be singing.
Cool. And you wrote those yourself?
I did, yeah. I wrote them. I pre-recorded the music, and I'll be singing them.
Cool.
So I get my rock star moment on stage also.
Nice.
I do storytelling. I do improv at the Montreal Improv Theatre. I take classes there and perform there pretty regularly. And I'm a teacher at Dawson as well.
Cool.
So I'm hoping some of my students or former students will come check this out. The show deals with baldness, but the show really deals with vulnerabilities and human beings facing their own vulnerabilities, and this particular character trying to feel worthwhile and trying to feel valuable and trying to feel valued. So I think that's something that everybody, no matter what point they're at in their life, can relate to. You know, if you've ever felt any vulnerable at any moment in your life, come see the show.